Good morning, guys. It's about 6:45. Time to get rolling. I'm going to start the day replacing the broken trim plate in the bathroom. And, while I was there, I had to get one anyway. May as well go with the nice screwless design. I did find a cheaper line of them. They're definitely not as robust as the kind that come with some of the Lutron I bought, but, it looks really good. So we'll install it and see how it goes. And if I like it, I'll go ahead and probably do the rest of the house. I did get 2 of them. I want to do the triple one right at the entry also, just to see how it looks. They were the last 2 they had there. I looked real quick for some others, but they had them scattered on the shelf and the store was closing. So I just grabbed what I saw real quick to see. But they were $6 a piece, so that's not too bad. The ones I was looking at the first time, which were the nicer design, but still same effect, they were $20 a piece for the triple. That was a ripoff. The quads were $25 a piece. So if these are 6, that means the singles are probably pretty cheap, and that's what's mostly in the house. But I do have a bunch of quads and doubles also. We'll see. Well, that wasn't too bad. Basically, you completely loosen, but don't remove everything in your wall. So all 3 switch assemblies were just kind of floating. And then you screw on this plate to them, which was kind of a pain in the butt getting everything to stay in place, because there's really nothing to grab onto here with these, flush Lutron switches. But got everything in, and then you screw in this plate to where the screws would be for a standard plate. And then once they're all aligned on this plate, you can lightly seat the main mounting screws. And what's nice is this holds them all in place, so they're all nice and flush, and you don't get any of the tilting effect. That's probably what killed my other plate, because these do go in, so wonkily. And if it's tilted too much and then you try to screw down your top plate, that's when you get the crack. And this one was definitely tilted in. So now this just snaps into place. And it looks like it snaps in a lot easier than the Lutron ones. It just has a little bit of a ridge catch, where the Lutron ones are pretty well on there, and it almost feels like you're gonna break it when you pop it off. It's probably gonna take me 2 hands. Maybe not. Maybe. Hold on. Okay, mixed feelings. The effect, the look, beautiful. Looks great. Looks just like the higher end pieces. However, this is definitely flimsy. It creaks and groans if you touch it. It's a very flimsy, tight mount. It's got a lot of flex. You just got a couple of those tabs contacting the actual plate behind it. In comparison to the Lutrons, which are much more solid. It's a different look. You can see that it's definitely a nice thick 2-piece here. I think this looks a lot higher end, but again, it's not worth $300 to me to do the house in this. So I'll at least put on the other one I bought, but I'll have to use it a little bit to see if I want to do the rest of the house in them, to see if that kind of creaking is really an issue, because I'm not really sure how much I touch the surround. But if I'm hearing and feeling that flex every time I hit a switch, that's going to just, set me off a little bit. Nope, can't do it. This is driving me crazy. Too cheap. Spend the extra. This is crap. Another beautiful morning out in the nature preserve. Got the frogs going last night, got the birds going this morning. Lots of owls around here. I hear them throughout the evening. Let's get all this wiring set up. Got the 3M hooks. Should be able to get all this wrapped up, literally and figuratively, this morning. Yes, that will do nicely. So this black extension cord is a little on the thick side. This one fits perfectly in these large command hooks. There's no stress on the plastic at all. This would break over time. I've got it barely in there just to see. And I'll see if they have slightly smaller. I don't need these extremely heavy duty cords just going up to literally extend the line to this light, but unfortunately I do need a 3-prong, which does limit my availability. Get lots of nice thin 2-prong extension cords. And I'll also see if maybe they got some extra large hooks or something down here, but they're sticking to the wall, no problemo. So don't need the 3M tape, which I was concerned about because sometimes it can pull off the paint, especially on exterior surfaces. Had that happen. So that'll work. Going back to Lowe's anyway to return those surrounds. So I'll check on that, check on a cord, check on hooks. Hooks would definitely be easier and cheaper to get if they have those. And I don't want to go any further with these because I do want to install a few more just to tidy up that line there. But yeah, that works very well. The only minor inconvenience is now having to bend way down here to hit the switch, but not a huge deal. And I'd rather do that than mount this up on the wall somewhere because that would be a little ugly, and I can hide this with a plant just like that. If I ever want to control at least the light, if not everything plugged into the switch, I can install an outdoor smart plug adapter, which basically goes in between the wall and anything you plug into it, and it turns anything into that into a smart device. So that's great for like plug-in lamps if you don't want to do the switch on the wall. Saves you a little bit of money. You can get those for 10-15 bucks. The outdoor ones are a little more expensive and definitely less selection, but they're out there. Now these down here with this thicker extension cord barely fit. I can just slide it in to keep it in place, and it's a minor bit of stress on the plastic. I think that'll be just fine. So I'll go ahead and tidy up the rest of this line here, and that'll wrap that up. So the neighbor's pool is really nice. It's a nice design. It's nice and clean, nice and modern. Obviously their new shrubs aren't in yet. But get this, $55,000 for a freaking pool. They've used it 4 times since we moved in. That's why I don't want pools, man. Just not worth it. While I'm at Lowe's, I need to pick up some patio cleaner, something preferably with mold control. Definitely getting some here. You guys saw it's not something that was there before. It's happened over the last month just from rain and moisture. But it's just starting. It's not super thick. The dots are from where the condensation drips every morning. You know, these big metal struts, braces, trusses, that's the word, collect condensation and it just drips here. There's nothing I can do about it. I was thinking about outdoor rugs or something, but I'd have to cover so much area and it wouldn't look right having, you know, rugs like that. But I want to find something so I can at least clean the stuff. I did clean this one over here, which was a really bad one with the cred cutter, and it got the mold up and everything, but it also took the paint. Went right down to the previous color. Oops. Yeah. Luckily, I have the can of paint that he used in the garage, so I know what to buy later on if I want to repaint it. But, you know, this is my set. This side is definitely for work. I don't really care, but I want to keep this part looking as nice as possible. You know, it doesn't have any wear. It's a fairly fresh coat. At the very least, I need to keep it clean. This here, it looks really bad on camera, but it doesn't look anywhere that bad to my naked eye. This part here, it's the actual finish of the concrete. It's rough, and it's got a lot of pores. They're going this way. Whereas here, it's smoother. They didn't do a great job of pouring these slabs. They're not the same. You can see a big stripe here of the same kind of thing where it's just rough and textured. I'm not a cement guy. I don't know what they did wrong, but you know, it's not totally the same. And this one here is really nice and smooth, very slick surface, almost like the garage floor. So, I don't know. Maybe a project for another day, completely redoing it. I don't know. Nothing soon, that's for sure. I just want to get it looking good and lower my maintenance. Now, this definitely looks as bad in real life than on the camera. It's getting pretty black. The clean lines here are the drip lines from when it rains. It just kind of washes it right there. But everything else, yeah, it looks like crap. And it didn't just a couple weeks ago. There we go. Nice and neat. It'll flatten down a little bit over time as it remembers where it's supposed to be. All done. Now we can just clean this up and it'll be functional to shoot. Okay, let's get the new garage lights wired up and mounted. We're gonna be replacing this fluorescent light here, which, you know, isn't terrible. It's at least a halfway decent one, but very dim for such a large garage. So I'm gonna be putting up 3 8-foot LED strips, same as I put in the back studio. We know they'll put out plenty of light. I don't know if it's gonna be the same as the other garage. I had a lot of lights in there just because I could. And it was out of necessity because I didn't have a finished garage. The light didn't bounce around quite as much. I only had one white wall that was cinder block. The ceiling was unfinished, so it was lost up into the attic. And the floor wasn't a bright color, it was just raw concrete. Back wall was partially white, and then we had some appliances. But I had to mount the stuff in weird places. I had one light on the wall here because when the garage door was up, obviously nothing from above will light it. I didn't have the space up front here. So I think it's gonna end up being about the same, but I'm just not sure about the lumens. I may buy another kit of these since it was only $100 for 6 of them. 120, something like that. It was very inexpensive for the light you get. Let me put it that way. So if I need to, I'll double up and I'll put a ton more in here. And hell, I could add another one, the daisy chain, to out back if I wanted to. Got all the wiring connections I need, no matter what I'm gonna run into. I'm going to assume this is just a direct wire. I don't think there's gonna be an outlet in the ceiling right there, because there's already one right here for the garage door. Now I could plug right into that, but if there's already a wire drop there, I'm just tapping right in there. They do give you every kind of connection you need. These are power cords with a switch. This is what I used out back, and it works fine. This is the end that plugs into the light itself. And then if you want direct wire, they give you that. So you can just screw terminal in here and plug directly into the light. Or you can daisy chain from another light if you want to put them end to end, if you want like a 16-foot run, or if you want to turn it right around. This is what I did out back. And put 2 8s and stack them. You can do that. And they also give you little terminals for the end. You know, basically however you want to run it. The only thing they don't give you is a built-in extension line. So, say for example, if you want some space between the two, like I may end up doing this. I need to lay out exactly where I want the lights. I may do one long strip, and I'm thinking an L shape right now. One up here, and then a long one down there. We'll see. But if you wanted space between them, or maybe you wanted 2 rows, you're gonna have to use 2 of these and just splice in between to do it yourself. They don't give you a long extension. That's about it. So the mounting itself, super easy, same as I did out back. You got 2 metal brackets that you screw to the wall, just one easy screw, and the lights just snap right into here, and they also snap out. Just like a valance on blinds, that's exactly how they mount. They're very lightweight. I would guess 2 or 3 pounds a piece, if that. I mean, they're almost nothing. You pick it up and you're like, whoa, I mean, is this thing made out of paper? Seriously, it's for 8 feet long. It's nothing. Very lightweight. You don't need any kind of anchors or anything special to mount this stuff. Just realized why I would not want to plug into there. This is on the switch circuit. Yeah, definitely direct wiring no matter what. Time for a quick breakfast. Then I'm going right down the street to vote early. All done. Got a brand new county building here. This thing is huge. Courts, community center, all kinds of stuff. Really nice. Jail right down the street. Again, brand new. In the middle of nowhere. There's, you know, basically our community and then nothing. 15 bucks up from 6, but it's a known good. Worth it. Ouch. 43 bucks for an outdoor smart switch. That's the outdoor outlet I was talking about. I think I'll stick to turning that on manually. Okay, got everything I need. Couldn't find the corner protectors yet. Might have to order those online. I'm really pissed because I actually threw them out. There was a box on the counter when we bought the house and it was just a box of junk. And you know, those were in there. I had no idea what they were. Oops. Something cool. Met a viewer inside as I was looking at some of the switch plates. Hello, Mr. Whitaker. So I got some conduit. I've got some butt connectors. This will allow me to run my initial run from wherever it comes in the ceiling to wherever my first light's going to be, and it'll allow me to connect the other two however I want to do that. I'll lay those out in a second. I'm trying the Grease Lightning Classic here, cleaner and degreaser. It's half the price of the Crud Cutter. We'll see how it does. 7 bucks for this big concentrated bottle. Not bad. Ah, crap. I knew I forgot something. I want to get white spray paint so I could totally do this piece of wood here. Looks like they did maybe one coat. Needs some more to match. And then I can replace that broken piece of plywood up here. Every single time I open it, it breaks even more. There's a piece of plywood up at an angle starting right here. So all you have to do is push and slide the piece up. If it was wood, it would work great. But drywall obviously isn't durable, so the corner hits it every time and it's digging right through it. I pretty much have a hole open right now, so I do want to take care of that. I'm sure I'll be back soon. I thought I had some white spray paint, but I don't. I've got lots of other colors. The white I was thinking of is this frosted glass. I use this for making photography tools. Here's a tip if you want to create some really nice reflective glass for doing photos. If you want to see a nice reflection underneath the product, like, you know, you're taking a picture of this can and you want to see a nice reflection down underneath it, take a piece of glass, nice thick piece of glass, like for a tabletop. I specifically made a turntable display piece for this. Spray this on the underside of the glass and just do a couple light coats of this and then flip it around and it becomes the shiniest white mirror you've ever seen. It looks absolutely perfect in photos. It's like you photoshopped it and reversed it. Really nice. But I don't think this will work as a good match. I don't know. I might try it. It's not like I need this rest of the can. And if it doesn't work, I guess I can just paint over it. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Why not? Well, as I suspected, it didn't work. Can you tell where I painted it? Yeah, me either. It goes on really clear. So here's how I'm gonna mount them. I'm gonna put one pretty much all the way down there, and then two just like this, and they go just over where the garage door is. There's no point in going overlapping. I'll do it pretty much even with it, and that'll bring those two up here. Should absolutely flood the garage, especially with her car in here. Now we just need to mount the brackets. Actually, the first thing I'll do is remove this original light, see what we have to work with. Yep, just a regular old ceiling connection, easy peasy. First bracket's in, and one light up. I'm gonna pull the power from here, go over to here, and then from that end over to the one here, and then loop for the one over there. Okay, I've got two mounted
and rough wired in. I'm just gonna do a quick function check before I go any further and clean anything up. Now these, I don't believe are dimmable, but that's okay. Okay, we have light. Because I never plan on using these at anything less than full power. So even in daylight, you can see that they are quite bright. This is full on, almost noon sun. I'm gonna put the other one closer to the wall, parallel with this one over here. This is 8 feet from the wall. I'll do the other one probably right here on the side of the access panel. I don't want to do it closer to the wall because it just wastes light shining it on top of the cabinets here. And that should be real good. I just need to make up another shorter custom wire to connect these two. I was going to do it in a V, which would have saved me making a wire, but I've seen some people do that in other YouTube videos, and I think it looks like crap. It just looks lazy. So I'm just gonna do a short custom wire just here and mount it up and clean it up, and we'll be done. Good timing. I put up the old shop light as a giveaway. Somebody came right away and got it. Got them up, good to go. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be bright enough, but we'll see tonight at night. They're already casting shadows here in the daytime, so I think we're good. But I think I have really good coverage here for everywhere in the garage that I'll need. But like I said, it's only, I double checked, right now they're at 109 bucks for 6 of these on Amazon. And I put everything that worked out well down in the Cigar Obsession Amazon store. You'll see the link in the description if you're interested in any of this stuff. Okay, next up, finding a mounting point for the vacuum here. It's got like a clip that you put on the wall. I'm thinking right on the side of the cabinet here. Let's move that little table out of the way. That's a pretty good spot for it. It's out of the way and easy to drill into. And I don't care about this cabinet. This is not the fault of the door. That's the fault of the floor. It's got a slope to the corner. So I'll have to shim up the back left corner and that'll even the door out. The bottom, however, is the fault of the door. The whole piece of wood is warped. Kicks out at the bottom. Yeah, not really impressed with the cabinet. It was a good deal for the cabinets. I think it was 120, 130 something per cabinet. You know, for the space, and it's a nice, clean, modern look. It's okay. But, like I said earlier, not sturdy, not a replacement for any kind of steel cabinet. So, bear that in mind. And I do wish it was bigger. My parents have some really nice cabinets that are another 2 feet tall. And I want to say they're a little deeper. I'm sure they were a lot more expensive, but these were enough for what I needed. Still got a little room in them, and it took what I needed to put in there. So happy enough for what I spent. There we go. Got the attachments inside. That worked out perfectly. I think what I'll do now is go inside, switch out that trim plate, and then go get some lunch and go back to Lowe's, get some white paint, finish off painting the board, and get this all wrapped up before I put the ladder away. And then I can throw this out in Friday's garbage. There we go. Much better. Nice and quiet. It sucks that you have to spend nearly 3 times as much, but you get what you pay for in this case. So I just placed another order for 6 more lights, another pack for 110 bucks, because I do want more light. I'm gonna kick them on here and I'm gonna show you why. It's not that they're not putting off good light, they are. The lumens that they're putting off is just fine. But here's the issue. They are almost 4 feet higher than in the old garage. And what that's translating to is a lot less light the further down we go. Now, the camera is auto-exposing, but you can see that the shelves look pretty dark. See that hard shadow going diagonal right in the center there? You can tell that there's a lot of detail lost in the shadows. And all of that was nice and bright in the old garage. Looking over the side of the bike here, you can see that the top's nicely lit, but then it gets kind of dark and shadowy down under the bike. The bike itself has a hard shadow. All of that was filled in nicely. So that's the important part. I mean, look under the wheel here. When I'm down working on a bike part, I need to see in there. You know, all of that was nicely lit before. Partially because I had a light on the wall, you know, shining on the side. But for the most part, it was because everything was a lot closer. Everything was down near level. I only had a 7-foot ceiling. So what I'm gonna do is, it comes with 6 in a pack. I'm gonna put 2 more here and 4 more there. I'm just gonna fill in that gap. That will double the light, obviously, and really help fill in the space. So I think that will solve the issue. Beyond that, I would have to put some on the walls, kind of like I had before, but I don't want to do that. I think this will handle it. And what's really cool is because the kit comes with those inner links, I won't have to make up new cable. I can just run them right next to each other like I do out in the back studio and link them. So I'll have it linked here, linked here, linked here, still link over there, and we'll just daisy chain back and forth, and that's it. So that's due in a few days. Even though it's prime shipping, it's one of those deals where, oh yeah, we guarantee the 2-day prime shipping, but we're not gonna ship it for 3 days. So it's not coming until next week. But this is good enough for now. So I used half a bottle of this Grease Lightning and give it a quick, fairly light scrub, just with my house brush here. Full strength, not really grinding into it to take off paint. Tried to go with the grain of the concrete here. I can hear it bubbling and reacting and popping, so there's still some stuff there. We'll rinse it off here in a second and see how it did. Well, it's better. I'd say I took off about 2/3 of it. I'm gonna pour the rest on and just let it sit. Come back and rinse it in a little bit. It's pretty much stain here and some patches here, just where it's in the shade. Got off all this stuff okay. It's really ingrained in the grooves in the cement. It looks worse on camera than it is here. I don't mind the way it looks here. It just kind of looks like shadow. But the green and the yellowish stuff, I want to get the rest of that off. It really reacts with it quickly. It's a clear liquid, but it turns this real amber color when it hits the stuff. It starts working. All right. So far, the crud cutter is definitely stronger. This stuff didn't even begin to take off the paint, but I'll take this over taking off my paint. We'll see how it does just sitting. I got a new entryway rug here. I think that looks pretty nice with the color scheme. And a more industrial one here in the garage. Catch all the dirt from going in. Well, that wall's dirty there in the kick panel. Gotta scrub that a little bit. That looks like it's from maybe some past deliveries. This door is taking a beating. That's all right. This is a working garage. I used a whole can of spray paint on this. Barely got it fully coated. Used up what left I had of the little can of texture. That'll look nice once it's dry. It's gonna take a while, it's kind of humid. Trick-or-treaters have started coming. I've got a super loud speaker set up on the porch right behind where they stand. You can see it down there. Little kids come up, moms stand right there, and I got it set to my phone, and I got a video primed of a really loud horror scream. We'll see if we can catch them on the security cameras. Oh, yes. Oh, where are you going? What the hell? Son of a... Maybe it's because the porch lights weren't on yet. They come out automatically at sundown. I just turned them on just in case. Come back. Holy crap, are there a lot of kids in this neighborhood. It's nonstop. They're trucking them in. Just waves. Scare cam is working. Hope the security cams are picking up the audio.
Happy Halloween. Whoa. Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
Okay. It's okay. Say thank you. Grab two, buddy. Let's go.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dylan, do you miss one?
He missed one.
Right here. Dylan. Right here. Right here.
Dylan, one more house you didn't get, bud.
Right here. Look. Go right here. Sidewalk. We'll go down
Oh,
inside.
he's following us. I know. Go
Right
ahead.
there,
He's
Dylan.
worried about. It's a joke. He's not following us.
He's
Go.
coming with us.
Don't get
Go get
candy.
candy.
You're looking to creep. You're creepy.
You want to go home?
You want to go home? He's gone.
I got some candy for you.
Look, she's got all this candy for
Really
you.
good candy.
Say trick or treat.
Thank you. You're welcome. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
That's all my husband. I'm just the candy. Happy Halloween.
They're dinosaurs. They just don't have their heads on. It's the biggest Tootsie Roll ever.
Are you a pony? Unicorn.
A dead one.
Oh my goodness.
Trick or treat.
Happy
Thank
Halloween.
you.
You're welcome. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's my husband. Happy Halloween. Oh, you too. Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, 100 kids later, we're out of candy. See you tomorrow, guys.